Over the last year or two, maybe even a little longer, I've noticed a trend in real estate that honestly has me scratching my head. Maybe I'm old school, maybe I'm missing something, maybe some realtors watching this are going to completely disagree with me. And that's perfectly okay. This is simply my opinion. Before anyone misunderstands me, I'm not saying a listing brokerage can't do this. They absolutely can. I'm simply asking whether it's really in my seller's best interest. Every decision I make starts with one question. How does this help my seller? What's this video about? Sometimes wording is added that reduces the commission being offered to the buyer's brokerage if the listing agent shows the property and that buyer later purchases through another brokerage. The words vary, and that's the part I don't understand. I'm representing buyers. I can't make the showing because I'm with another client, an inspection, sick, or away. I call the listing agent, "Would you mind showing my buyers your listing?" They say yes. Perfect. That's exactly how I think our industry should work. And now the buyers love the home. The buyers return to me. I'm answering questions, preparing the offer, negotiating, arranging and attending inspections, working with lawyers, scheduling final visits, getting everything to closing. In other words, I'm still doing the work I was hired to do. Let's be generous. 30 minutes driving there, 1 hour for the showing, 30 minutes driving home, about 2 hours. Yet some directions reduce the commission being offered to the buyer's brokerage simply because the listing agent showed the property. That's the part that just doesn't make sense to me. I really hope sellers aren't being told, "Don't worry, it's standard," because there is no standard clause like this. It isn't required by law. It isn't an MLS rule. It isn't something every seller has to agree to. It's simply one of the terms that a seller and a listing brokerage may negotiate and agree upon. That's a big difference between something being more common and something being standard. Many buyers have buyer rep agreements. Let's use 2.5% only as an example. If the commission being offered is reduced, depending on how that agreement is written, the buyer could have to make up the difference. Every agreement is different. Every situation is different. The buyer finds the perfect home. Now they may have an unexpected additional cost. Maybe they'll still write an offer. Maybe they don't. If one qualified buyer decides to move on because of that additional cost, how does that help my seller? Sellers deserve to know exactly what they're agreeing to, what is being recommended, and how it could affect the marketing of their property. Just because more people choose to use something doesn't automatically make it the right choice for every seller. Personally, I wouldn't ask my seller to reduce the commission being offered to another brokerage simply because I conducted a showing on the property I was already hired to market and sell. If someone hires me to sell their home, I'm already getting paid to market it, negotiate, answer questions, and show the property. Again, that's simply my opinion. If another realtor calls me and says, "Ray, I'm tied up today, can you show my buyers your listing?" Absolutely. Every showing is another opportunity to sell my seller's home. That's exactly what my seller hired me to do. As listing agents, we spend money on photography, videos, marketing, MLS exposure, media, signs, lock boxes, open houses, all for one reason: to get buyers through the front door. So why create another potential obstacle? At the end of the day, this really isn't about commission. It's about one simple question. What gives my seller the best chance of selling their home for the best possible price and terms? Every decision I make starts with that question. If a decision increases buyer interest, I'm all for it. If it creates another obstacle or discourages even one qualified buyer, then I have to ask myself, why am I doing it? Because my job is to get my seller the very best possible result. This isn't about criticizing another realtor. It isn't about criticizing another brokerage. It is simply my opinion. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't. But if someone hires me to sell their home, I believe showing qualified buyers the property is part of the service I agreed to provide. I'd genuinely like to hear your opinion. If you were selling your home, would you want every qualified buyer to have the easiest possible path to making an offer? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching another video.